Before I stopped drinking alcohol, I truly believed that people who were sober were boring. Surely they couldn't have fun, they couldn't relax in the same way that I did with my bottle of wine or two or even three every single night. But when I found freedom from drinking, I realised that that was a completely false belief. It just wasn't true. And instead of feeling as though I'd lost something by stopping drinking alcohol, I actually gained so much. And I want to share with you some of the amazing things that I gained when I stopped drinking. And this applies for the people who join my stop drinking program and the people who come to my stop drinking boot camps. Many of them experience all of these things and a whole lot more. So if you've been holding yourself back because you think you'll lose out when you stop drinking, let me tell you right now, you're wrong. That's not what happens. We gain so much. Yes, it can be challenging in the early stages and we can experience disrupted sleep, unstable emotions, and we can have cravings to drink again. But if we can ride that out and weather the storm, the fog begins to clear and we start to be presented with the gifts of an alcohol-free life. And that is why people never go back once they've experienced it. I'm Simon Chapple. I'm the Quit Alcohol Coach and the author of the Sober Survival Guide and the book How to Quit Alcohol in 50 Days. I also run an amazing stop drinking program which you can try totally free for 14 days. It could change your life. It's worked for many other people. The website address is on the screen right now if you want to give it a try. There's new videos right here on my YouTube channel every Tuesday and every Thursday. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon and you'll be notified whenever a new one is released. So let's talk about everything that I gained when I quit drinking. Now before I quit, my mental health wasn't in the best place. My anxiety was out of control, I was experiencing depressive episodes and my emotions were unstable even at the best of times. After I quit, my anxiety began to fade. It went from 8 or 9 out of 10 down to 1, 2, maybe 3 at times out of 10. It took a few months for that to happen, but I noticed that it was just getting incrementally better and better as I went further away from that last drink. It's made an enormous difference to my life. Previously, I was unable to stand up and talk in front of even a small group of people. And after I quit, I went on stage live at This Naked Mind Live in Denver and talked in front of 400-500 people. There were cameras there. It would have been a situation in the past that would have caused a panic attack. Yet there I was, stood on that stage, no anxiety, no fear. Sure, I had some nerves, but that was natural and I think that's something that can help us stay focused. But the huge levels of irrational anxiety had faded away. They'd gone completely. And that was something that I talked about when I was on stage. So for me and many people that I've worked with, we notice a huge difference in our mental health. We become more mentally resilient. We experience clarity and we feel more grounded. Things that used to faze us just don't seem to have the same impact as they did when we were drinking. Now, of course, anxiety and mental health is on the inside. On the outside, I noticed that darkness under my eyes faded away. This happened within the first 30 days without alcohol. I took a selfie at the start and another after 30 days so I could compare. The difference was remarkable. I also noticed how my skin changed. It seemed to be glowing. When we drink regularly, we lose hydration in our skin and it becomes dry and it doesn't have the same elasticity as it does when we don't drink alcohol. In addition, our body hangs on to all the hydration that it can and our face can become bloated. That was what had happened to me. And after just 30 days without drinking, I noticed how my face seemed a bit thinner. It wasn't bloated. It didn't look quite so fat. And it was an amazing experience to see that just that short period of time without alcohol had made such an enormous difference. What a gift. And it hasn't changed. So if you want to look 10 years younger, you don't need Botox, you just need to stop drinking. Alcohol can make our hair and our nails become brittle and weak. So you might notice after a period without drinking that your nails are stronger and they don't break quite so easy. And the same with hair and split ends. Obviously this isn't something that applies to me, so I haven't experienced the part around hair personally, but I've heard it from many people how their hair feels like it's got more body and more shine, and their nails don't break quite as easily as they previously did when they were drinking. Yet another gift from sobriety. Now, one thing that can hold people back from stopping drinking is that in the early stages they'll often experience disrupted sleep, and a few nights of uncomfortable sleep and tossing and turning in bed can be enough to send some people right back to drinking. Alcohol whispers in their ear that it will solve the problem, it will help them get to sleep, and I used to believe that alcohol helped me sleep, but the reality is that alcohol doesn't allow us to experience the proper cycles of sleep that we need to feel truly refreshed and restored. Sure, it knocks us out, but that's about all it does. After the first week or so, we begin to experience true, refreshing, restorative sleep, and it's an amazing experience. We wake up feeling recharged and energized, ready to take on the day and motivated. Best of all, we don't have a hangover. We don't have a fuzzy head and the fog that comes with drinking the night before. So know that your sleep will massively improve. And that sleep can control so many aspects of your life. We can feel edgy and anxious, moody and irritable when we haven't had a good night's sleep. Know that when you don't drink, it stabilizes and that stops happening. One of the biggest changes for me was that I became a better parent. When I was drinking, I would put alcohol ahead of the most important people in my life, including my son. I can remember times where he was younger, when he wanted me to read another story while I was sat on his bed before he would go to sleep. But I wanted to get downstairs and drink wine. So I would only read one story. I didn't want to hang around for a second one. And I would put alcohol ahead of him. And that made me feel like a bad parent. There were times when I was snappy and grumpy with him. Times when I just didn't want him around because I wanted to drink and I felt a sense of shame about doing that in front of him. Since I quit, I've become engaged and fully present. I've got time to listen to him. Obviously he's older now, so he doesn't want stories at bedtime. But believe me, if he was younger, I'd read him 10 stories, 20 stories. I just love feeling fully connected, truly present, and a proper part of his life. One of the biggest gifts from being sober is that we become a better parent. And I've heard it time and time again from the people who join my Stop Drinking program and experience what life is like on the other side of alcohol. And just like becoming a better parent, we become a better partner. We start to connect with our partners on a whole new level. When we quit drinking, we start to work out who we really are. We've often spent much of our lives wearing a mask that is a false version of ourselves. We put on different personas based upon the people we're hanging around with or the situation that we're in. When we quit drinking, we stop wearing the masks. We connect with the real version of ourselves. And sometimes that can mean facing up to some things that we need to resolve or we need to deal with. But that's okay because we feel resilient and able to look at those things. And we begin connecting with our feelings, noticing our emotions, talking about them, sharing them where it's appropriate to do so. And instead of just talking about superficial things or avoiding uncomfortable situations or topics, we begin to face them head on and we start talking, sharing and connecting with our partners on a whole new level, which brings about a whole new level of emotional intimacy. Your relationship will transform when you stop drinking. A huge gift for me when I stopped drinking was that I became in control of making my own decisions. I became responsible for myself. And of course you might think, well, you were always responsible for yourself and in control of your decisions. But the truth is, I wasn't. Alcohol was, because everything that I did revolved around alcohol. So I would make decisions that put alcohol at the centre of them. Many of my decisions were driven by alcohol and my need to drink. Even if I wasn't drinking, I was thinking about drinking. And my thoughts were preoccupied with drinking, what time I could start, when I could go to the shop and buy alcohol, how much I was going to drink that evening. And if I needed to make a decision, it would absolutely be influenced by my drinking behaviour. When I stopped drinking, the fact that I became calmer, more rational, at peace, and I began to feel a sense of self-love and look after myself. I was caring for myself more and thinking hard about the decisions that I made. I wasn't just doing things on autopilot. I was pausing, stepping back and making choices that actually served me and fitted with my values as an individual. On a more materialistic level, I saved a fortune when I quit drinking. I was spending anything from £20 to £30 a day on alcohol. And that doesn't include the big nights out, the food that I would buy on the way home. Even though I'd already eaten after I'd been drinking, there would always be a stop at the local takeaway to buy even more food, which meant more calories and more weight around my middle. I saved a fortune. When you do the maths, it's an unbelievable amount of money that you'll save if you stop drinking. And that means you can give yourself treats, maybe at certain milestones on your alcohol-free journey, perhaps at 50 days or 100 days, 6 months or 12 months alcohol-free. You could treat yourself to a really lovely gift or treat to honour and celebrate the fact that you've made this amazing lifestyle change. And one of the biggest things that happened for me and happens for everyone else is we get to keep our memories. Alcohol steals memories from us, not just our short-term memories when we're drinking, but over time it can affect our long-term memory. Imagine if you went on holiday and you came back with only a small percentage of the memories. What was the point in going in the first place? You drank the whole time, you felt hungover the whole time, all you did was sit next to the swimming pool boozing for the entire day and the entire night, and then you were sleeping off your hangovers. You come back with almost zero memories of that holiday. Now imagine a holiday where you don't drink. You're up early, walking along the beach when no one else is around, watching the sunrise and maybe feeling rather smug that you haven't got a hangover. And then you'll probably be taking part in activities and really enjoying yourself, doing things that you've maybe never done before and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. And maybe you'll start immersing yourself in the local community or immersing yourself in a wonderful book rather than spending the day drinking. But believe me, whatever you do, you'll come back with a full memory bank that will last probably for a lifetime. When you don't drink, you don't have your memories stolen from you. And for me, that's a huge reason to remain alcohol free. I don't want to give away my memories to a poisonous liquid. I want to retain those memories because long-term memories make us feel good. They help add to our long-term bank of happiness and increase our overall sense of well-being. So if anything, make sure you hang on to those memories. Don't give them away to alcohol. It's just not worth it. And if you need more help stopping drinking, check out my Stop Drinking program. You can try it free for 14 days. And I'm certain you'll find a whole new level of support, connection, tools and tactics that will help you move forward down the path to becoming alcohol free.